and murmuring
Yes, yes.
of him as if he had been his own child. Went at night under the pine tree. He set up some bamboo tubes in the ground, such as are used before tombs, in which he put fresh flowers. Then he laid a cup of water and a tray of food on the grave and burned several costly sticks of incense. He murmured a great while over his pet, calling him many dear names as if he were alive.
Okay, fine. So this paragraph, beta, the owner of the dog heard of the death of his pet and mourning here, U word is there, beta. So MOURNING, mourning means when you express your sorrow, when you are expressing your sadness, okay? So expressing sadness. So he started crying a lot for him as if he had been his own child. So he was crying the same way like people when they lose their child, है ना? So same way he was crying. He went at night under the pine tree. So he reached there. He came to know that the dog was killed and he was buried under the pine tree. So he set up some bamboo tubes. You can see the picture also, beta. There is one. This is the tomb kind of thing. यहाँ पे dog को उन्होंने bury किया and he just placed some bamboo sticks. ये आपने देखा ये sticks उसने लगा दी उसके आसपास, ठीक है? So you can see the picture here. He set up some bamboo tubes in the ground and then such are as used before tombs. Tombs क्या होती हैं? Anyone? You might have read in SST. Savya, Akshara, anyone?
Ma'am, I don't know.
No? You
No.
haven't read anyone in SST? Okay, I'm going to unmute you together, then you can tell me. And please in your own language, don't tell me internet language, please. Yes, POM.
मैम जो ग्रेवयार्ड्स में जिन पे
Grave.
नाम लिखा होता है बंदों का
हाँ जी बेटा, exactly. So grave होती है ये Muslims and Christians में what people do, they just bury their dear ones when they leave this world. तो उसको tomb कहते हैं जिसको dead body को दबाना, ठीक है? That is called tomb. So he just put the bamboo sticks around it in which he put fresh flowers and he also offered the dead body of the dog fresh flowers. Then he laid a cup of water and tray of food. So he just placed these type of things there and burned several costly sticks of incense. Incense sticks, ये तो आपने पक्का सुनी होंगी या देखी होंगी. Maybe you know this name or not. So incense sticks. Anyone? You are unmuted all. You can tell me the meaning of incense sticks. Definitely, I'm 100% sure that almost all of you have seen that thing. Incense stick. You might have seen in mandirs, temples and all the things. ठीक है, वहाँ पे incense sticks बल रही होती है जिसको हम धूप कहते हैं, ठीक है? Do you know that?
Yes. Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, हम अगरबत्ती भी कहते हैं.
अगरबत्ती.
Incense.
अगरबत्ती.
हाँ जी बेटा, अगरबत्ती. So this is incense stick. You might have seen so many times, है ना?
Yes, ma'am.
So incense
Yes,
okay, around the tomb. So next one is he mourned I told you the meaning again. Expressed sadness a great while over his pet, calling him many dear names. So he was just calling him and he was trying to tell the dog that please come back. He was convincing the dog to come back, okay? But obviously when somebody dies, so he or she cannot come back. But in this chapter we'll see what will happen. And as if he were alive. So next one is Akshara, read the next paragraph, then Madhav will read. Yes, Peter.
Yes, ma'am. That night the spirit of the dog appeared to him in a dream and said, cut down the pine tree over my grave and make from it a mortar for your rice pastry and a mill for your bean sauce.
बेटा little bit more. Wood तक पढ़ दो आप. Next paragraph. rice tak, pounding rice.
Okay, ma'am. So the old man chopped down the tree and cut out of the middle of the trunk a section about 2 feet long with great labor, partly by fire, partly by the chisel. He scraped out a hollow place as big as a small bowl. He then made a long handled hammer of wood, such as is used for pounding rice.
Yes. So that night, the spirit of dog appeared him in the dream. Okay. So in his dream, he saw the same dog. Okay. And the dog told him that cut down the pine tree over my grave. ठीक है, that wooden trunk he had to now cut and make from it a mortar for rice pastry. ठीक है, mortar बेटा it is a kind of wooden और cemented bowl. ये भी आपने देखा होगा, उसमें हम spices डालते हैं और एक स्टिक सी होती है, उसके साथ हम स्पाइसेस को ग्राइंड करते हैं. यू माइट हैव सीन दैट आल्सो. आई विल ट्राई टू शो इट, बट देयर आर मेनी डिफरेंट मीनिंग्स ऑफ mortar. I will see.
And mortar and pestles. We have read in SST, I think so.
Yes, this type of thing. Yes, beta. So this type of thing where we can grind something. So he said that from that wooden, that pine tree, you have to prepare one mortar, okay, and then and a mill also. Mill is a grinding tool, जिसके साथ उसको grind करेंगे वो, ठीक है. So with that thing, he had to make rice pastry. As you know that he was a rice farmer. So rice pastry and with the mill आपको क्या बनानी है, beans की sauce बनानी है, ठीक है, by using that pine tree. Then so the old man chopped down the tree and cut out of the middle of the trunk a section about 2 feet long. So he did the same thing with great labor, with great efforts. What did he do? Partly by fire, partly by chisel. Chisel is a tool to cut the things, ठीक है, that is called chisel. So he used chisel and fire also. Then he scraped out. What is the meaning of scrape out? To draw out. कुछ निकाल लेना वहां से, ठीक है. Hollow place as big as small bowl. तो उसने type of bowl उसमें से निकाल दिया. Like you people scrape out ice cream with ice cream scoop from something. Similarly, he also scrape out a hollow piece of wood from the tree. He then made a long handled hammer of wood. Then he made one hammer also that I show you, that I have shown you, this type of hammer जो इसके बीच में grinding material है, ठीक है. So he made one handle also as it used for pounding rice, जो rice को pound करने के लिए, crush करने के लिए use होना है. So next one is, I will ask you question after the completion of this page. So Madhav, please turn on your video and complete this paragraph.
When New Year's time drew near, he wished to make some rice pastry. When the rice was all boiled, Granny put it into the mortar. The old man lifted his hammer
Sorry to interrupt, beta. Your video is still off. You can turn on your video because it's my rule, beta. You always give turn when your video is on. Okay? Yes, please.
now.
Now it's fine.
Granny put it into the mortar. The old man lifted his hammer to pound the mass into dough, and the blows fell heavy and fast till the pastry was all ready for baking. Suddenly the whole mass turned into a heap of gold coins. When the old woman took the hand mill and filling it with beans began to grind, the gold dropped like rain.
Yes. So after that, beta, when New Year's time drew near, so drew near here means came near. Okay, it was New Year time. He wished to make some rice pastry. When the rice was all boiled, first of all they had to boil rice. Then Granny put it into mortar. Then they had to put that thing into that bowl, जो cemented या wooden bowl होता है उसमें डाल दिया. Then the old man lifted the hammer and he pound the mass or into dough. So he started crushing that rice, boiled rice, until it just became one type of dough. Dough पता है ना क्या होता है? Pizza dough हमारे घर में होता है, जिसको आटा का एक dough होता है ना. We make chapati from that. So and the blows fell heavy and fast till the pastry was all ready for baking. So he's giving blows. You might have seen your mother, kneading dough. Atta gundte hue dekha hoga. So our mothers give blows to the that floor, है ना, उसको smooth करने के लिए. Similarly, he is also blowing this thing to make it just smooth, and it is ready for baking now. Suddenly, the whole mass turned into a heap of gold coins. Suddenly, the whole rice, जो जितने भी boiled rice थे, they became a heap of gold. ठीक है, gold coins appeared, and when she started crushing beans, instead of that sauce, what came out? Drops of rain. ठीक है, उसमें से जो rain आ रही थी, किस चीज की आ रही थी? Gold की. So now they are again rich. ठीक है. Now next one is Shubh. Shubh, your video is on. Yes. So Shubh,
Yes, ma'am.
read better next one. Complete this page.
Okay, ma'am. Meanwhile, the envious neighbor peeped in at the window when the boiled beans were being ground. Good evening, cried the old hag as she saw each dripping of sauce turning into yellow gold. Until in a few minutes, the tub under the mill was full of a shining mass of gold. So the old couple were rich again. The next day, the stingy and wicked neighbor came and borrowed the mortar and magic mill. They filled one with boiled rice and the other with beans. Then the old man began to pound and the woman to grind. But at the first blow and turn, the pastry and sauce turned into a whole mass of worms. Still more angry at this, they chopped the meat into pieces to use as firewood.
Sorry. So meanwhile, the envious neighbor, envious means jealous. ठीक है? So jealous neighbor peeped in at the window. Peeped means to look inside secretly. So they were looking inside secretly, and they were so much jealous. ठीक है? And then when the boiled beans were being ground, so when they saw that lots of gold is coming out from that thing, so they were very much jealous. Goody means a kind of oh my god. ठीक है? Cried the old hag. Hag is a wicked neighbor's wife. So here hag means wife of that neighbor. Okay. As she saw each dripping of sauce turning into yellow gold. So हर एक drop जो था sauce का that was turning into a gold. So she was so much surprised and shocked also. Until in a few minutes the tub under the mill was full of shining mass of gold. So the whole tub, ठीक है, that was lying there, it was now full of gold. So the old couple were rich again. The next day, stingy. Stingy means miserly, greedy, you can say. Okay? Now here this means greedy. Greedy and wicked neighbor came and borrowed the mortar and the magic mill. So they thought that we will do also the same thing and we will become rich now. So when they filled one with the boiled rice and other with the beans, what happened? The pastry and sauce turned into a foul mass of worms. Worms, आपको पता है ना क्या होते हैं? The kind of insects and है ना, the things. So foul means the smell was again very bad. Okay, very ugly. So the foul mass of worms, still more angry at this, they chopped the mill. So this is the, I think, best, hobby. This is the favorite hobby of the couple, that to chop everything. Whatever just comes in their way, they chop that thing. Okay? So they chopped it and they used as firewood. उन्होंने उसको अपनी firewood में डाल दिया, जो भी सामान था. That mortar and that hammer. ठीक है? So I will ask you now questions. Get ready. Before that, I think we can solve page number 60 on books only. Page number 60. There are some questions. So the first question is, why did the neighbor kill the dog? Who will give me answer? Why did the neighbor kill the dog? Yes, Gaurish.
Yes, ma'am. When the neighbor, ma'am, just a minute.
Okay, make your answers. Savya and Devang, please turn on your video, beta. Your hand is raised. I can't give you turn. So, why did the neighbor kill the dog? Yes, Madhav?
The neighbor killed the dog because they gave the dog the same food that the old couple gave, but the dog didn't find them, uh, didn't
Find the treasure. Yes, exactly. Well done.
find the treasure, so they killed him.
So, in anger, they killed the dog. Well done. So, Arjun, what is your answer? Why did the neighbor kill the dog?
When the neighbors gave dog food to eat, they thought that the dog would find treasure for them. And when the dog started scratching the soil, there was nothing but a dead kitten. And the neighbors got so angry and they killed the dog. So they killed the dog.
Exactly. Well done. So excellent, both of you. Nice answer. So they gave food to the dog. They were expecting that the dog would find. Beta, please mute yourself, please. Okay. So they were expecting that dog would find treasure, but this thing didn't happen. He even found a dead kitten. So in anger, they killed the dog. Now next one is you have to find out the answer. These are the MCQs. So first one is the old farmer and his wife loved the dog. What was the reason? No reason. You have to just pick out the correct option. So I'm unmuting you together. Anyone can speak up the answer.
Ma'am, B
Ma'am,
option.
B
B
option.
option.
It was their
Ma'am,
only
B
baby.
option.
B option.
Ma'am, B option. Was their only.
As if it was their own
B
baby.
option.
B is the answer. Yes. So next one is when the old couple became rich, they
Ma'am, B option.
He invited, B option invited their greedy neighbors.
to a feast.
Feast.
okay. He is also typical one. So obviously comfortable and they were generous towards their poor neighbors. उन्होंने अपने poor neighbors को plentiful of food दिया था if you remember, right? So I think C is the most appropriate answer. No doubt B is also correct that they gave feast, but they were generous because one line was written that they gave plentifully to their neighbors. That means they were kind towards their neighbors. So C is the appropriate one. Okay, number three, the greedy couple borrowed the mill and the mortar to make dash.
Ma'am,
A
C.
pile of
Ma'am,
gold.
Pile of
rice
gold.
A pile of gold.
Exactly, a pile of gold. Now, anyone can just start speaking. अब एक जने ने अगर शुरू किया तो please let him or her speak. Okay. Okay, my first question.
Not
Who's speaking? So when the old man came to know that his dog was dead, then what type of reaction he gave? What was the feeling he expressed? What were the feelings? Anyone can speak.
Ma'am, he mourned a great while over his pet, calling him many dear names as if he were alive.
He mourned a great. Mourned means he expressed sorrow and he was crying a lot and he was calling his dog as if he were alive. Okay, well done. So my next question is, what happened in the night when the old man was sleeping? Anyone?
Ma'am, that night the spirit of the dog appeared him in a dream and said, "Cut down the pine tree over my grave and make it a mortar for his pastry and a mill for bean sauce."
Okay, so the spirit of the dog appeared in his dream and he told him the ways to make the mortar and the mill from the pine tree. Okay, so my next question is that what happened? Wait. What happened when he started crushing, when he was about to bake the dough? When you
Gold
When
dropped
he was
like
And
about
rain.
the
to
rice
bake
changed to gold.
the
Gold dropped like rain.
Into earth.
Gold dropped by.
okay, when he was about to bake the dough, that dough turned into a pile of pile of gold. And what happened when he was about to make the sauce from beans?
The gold dropped like
Ma'am, the
rain.
gold dropped like the rain.
Like rain.
Yes, well done. So the gold dropped like rain. Okay. So who was peeping inside from outside?
The
the
greedy
wind
And
neighbor.
couple.
his neighbor.
The
Yes,
greedy
neighbor.
Okay. Then what did they decide to do when they saw?
And they decide to
They
borrow the
decided to stole the
Are you sure
ma'am.
they decided to steal?
And they decided to borrow
They decided to borrow.
and get the gold.
Yes, exactly. They decided to borrow that mortar and the mill, and they also decided to make rice pastry out of that. So the last question is, when the pastry and sauce they just it was about to ready, then what happened?
Then
A
Ma'am, it
whole
turned
mass
into
of
came out
Turned into
forms.
a
worms.
whole mass of worms.
Whole
mass of
pastry, yes, boiled rice and sauce turned into foul mass of worms. When
Worms.
being angry, what did they do?
They
Ma'am, they
chopped the
chopped
mill
the
into
mill
pieces
into
to
to
use
use
as
as
firewood.
that
mill
firewood.
to use firewood.
They chopped the mortar and the mill and then they used it as firewood. Okay. Very nice responses, but only from only 8 to 10 students only. And I think so others are again sleeping. So it's okay. I think, beta, this is your loss, not mine. So next one, who will read? Let me see. Jasveen has
Ma'am,
got,
can I?
Harmeet got,
Ma'am, can I?
who's asking, can I?
Ma'am, or me?
Harmeet, how many time in a day you want a turn? I gave,
Can I?
I think in the beginning. So,
Can I?
Ma'am, can I?
जिसकी टर्न नहीं है please let me know.
Ma'am, can I?
मेरी
Can
turn नहीं
I?
आई थी.
क्योंकि
Ma'am, can I?
Arjun got Savya I think है ना? Okay, Arjun you can
Yes, ma'am.
then one by one I'll give.
Okay, ma'am. Not long after that, the good old man dreamed again, and the spirit of the dog spoke to him, telling him how the wicked people had burned the mill made from the pine tree. Take the ashes of the mill, sprinkle them on the withered trees, and they will bloom again, said the dog spirit. The old man awoke and went at once to his wicked neighbor's house, where he found the miserable old pair sitting at the edge of their square fireplace in the middle of the floor, smoking and spinning. From time to time, they warmed their hands and feet with lace from some bits of the mill, while behind them lay a pile of the broken pieces.
So not long after that, the good old man, again beta, after some days, again he dreamt of that same dog. That spirit of the dog appeared in his dream, telling him how the wicked people had burned the mill and made from the pine tree. So the spirit of the dog now told him that the wicked couple had already burnt that mortar and the mill. Take the ashes. What do you mean by ashes? Remains of fire. So whenever you burn something, something left behind, है ना, something is left behind, that is called ashes. So ashes means remains of fire. So he told them that take the ashes of the mill, sprinkle. Sprinkle means to spread. So he said that to sprinkle them on the withered trees. Withered means bare and dry. Dry trees, bare means without any flower. Okay? Only the branches were there, not the flowers. So bare and dry trees. So that will bloom again. Bloom means flourish, grow. So many flowers will definitely grow again when he would sprinkle ashes on the tree. The old man awoke and went at once to his wicked neighbor's house. When he found the miserable here means greedy, sad. Okay, so many meanings are there in this chapter. So that greedy and sad old pair, they were sad obviously, they were trying hard but they couldn't get gold. So they were sad also. They were sitting at the edge of the square fireplace. They were sitting there. Fireplace कौन सी है जहाँ पे उन्होंने क्या डाला हुआ है mortar and that thing hammer. Okay. So in the middle of the floor, smoking and spinning. Now they were smoking and spinning means they were continuously moving. ठीक है, when they were smoking. So from time to time they warmed their hands because it was so cold that they were trying to warm their hand and feet with the blaze. Blaze means light, light from the bits of the mill. So some light and heat that was coming out of the fireplace. Now they were trying to warm their hands. So behind them lay a pile of broken pieces. और उनके पीछे क्या पड़ा हुआ था broken pieces किस चीज के हैमर के में भी और मे बी उसके मिल के और मोटर के. So we are having just 2 minutes. So okay, we can just quickly read for 2 minutes. Gorish will start. Then tomorrow, Savya, you will start the chapter. Okay. Yes, Gorish, beta this paragraph.
Okay, ma'am.
2 paragraphs.
The good old man humbly asked for the ashes, though the covetous couple turned up their noses at him and scolded him as if he were a thief. They let him fill his basket with the ashes. On coming home, the old man took his wife into the garden. It being winter, their favorite cherry tree was bare. He sprinkled a pinch of ashes on it, and lo, it sprouted blossoms until it became a cloud of pink blossoms which perfumed the air. The news of this filled the village, and everyone ran out to see the wonder. The covetous couple also heard the story, and gathering up the remaining ashes of the mill, kept them to make withered trees blossom. The kind old man, hearing that his lord, the मैम ये क्या लिखा है?
Beta daimyo.
Yes, ma'am. Daimyo was to pass along the high road near the village, set out to see him
That's it.
taking his.
Fine.
Okay,
Okay,
ma'am.
that's it. So Harmeet, you can quickly take the screenshots. So I will explain you. I think this thing tomorrow. I don't want to just go so fast. We'll do it. हमारे पास बहुत टाइम है, हम आराम से करेंगे. And tomorrow Savya will start reading and I will pick out some more students. So Harmeet, I hope you have taken it. So I'm waiting for you. Please show me thumbs up as soon as you take screenshots. So others, please stay here for just 1 minute. Okay, now you can leave this meeting. I'll meet you tomorrow and we'll continue this chapter tomorrow. Okay? Take care, beta.